Alright, now again, feel a little bit stupid, but it's okay. Because now it's like, why am I doing this? I feel like it is much harder now to just focus on I'm doing this because I'm carrying my own weight. Because now the camera marks me as somebody that's not just kind of a vagabond, but the camera actually marks me more like a content creator. Yeah, like a modern person, which I'm trying to avoid to be associated with. And at the same time, of course, I really enjoy just pulling this cart and seeing the effect I have on other people. Of course, there's still an effect, even if I do it on my own, with the camera. You see, now I have to focus, because I also have to take care of the cart. I have to take care of not filming other people. This is a bit like walking the dog. What I've talked about in earlier videos, where I was walking a dog and at the same time recording. Right now the cart is the dog, and the cart is the proof that I'm putting in the work. But what I don't like about filming this, and that's why for me it's a bit nauseating to film this, is because there's a lot of people out there who just do these things and they film it all the time. And that's exactly where the trap is. Because if you cannot do this without filming it or other people saying something to you about it, then you're not free. So if you want to be free, you have to be able to go hiking without a phone or without a camera or without basically anything. And that's the challenge nowadays, to simply say, I'm doing this because I like doing it, and I'm not doing this only because I'm filming myself. Because filming yourself is like what people do with pornography. So basically what I'm doing now is pornography. Because this is actually a very intimate act. Because I'm pulling my own weight through the city, up the hill. And every second I'm doing this, I just want to punch myself in the face. Because I literally hate doing this. There are certain parts of my life which I would rather keep private. But now I can also explain to you why I'm doing this. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I said I'll never give up. I said this is what I'm doing. I want to show the world that there is a different way of living, that there are people who, rather than taking a car, take an old wagon from their father and use it to pull their karma up a mountain. And now I have to do it one-handed. And that's the cost of a smartphone. Because people that walk around with a smartphone in their hand, they're basically retarded. They only have one hand. Because one hand is constantly occupied with their phone. It's like having a pistol, only that this pistol only shoots at yourself. You may think you also shoot at other people. Now I have to look again. I really don't want to film people. Oh. So geht's besser. Yeah. Yeah. Because this is my content. This is my world. This is my life. And I don't want people to piggyback on what I'm doing, because I've worked hard to have the stamina and the courage to pull this thing through the city and basically have a conversation with myself. And the only way that I can do this, to speak English in a city where most people don't understand it, and pull this wagon through the city with everybody seeing me, and at the same time exposing myself as somebody who's on YouTube or something, right? Is he only doing this because he's filming himself? What is his real motive? Does he just want to earn money? Sure, man, I'm not an idiot. I've said that many times. I'm not an idiot. You know, if I wouldn't want to earn money with creating content online, then what would be the purpose of creating content online? I say I want to be free in a world that is ruled by money and greed. Which means if you really want to be free, but you also with one foot try to stand in society, you have to find your own way. And this is now my left side pulling. And I say that because I find it important. I find it important because my left side is weak. Because I've mostly been working right-handed. Now I'm doing this left-handed. And holy moly, it's already hard to pull when you have both hands. With one hand, it's much more of a challenge. Plus, normally I'm not speaking. Normally I'm only doing this for myself. I smile to myself and I walk up. And now people take me speaking as an invitation to also say something. So maybe it makes it easier for them to open up to me, who knows? Now, even if there would be nothing in that card, I'd still be breathing a little bit hard. I really don't know if I can do this only with my left hand. Maybe that's why I felt so miserable, because I was dreading this moment. I really didn't want to do this, and keep on saying that, but I actually wanted to do it because in a way it's also fun, right? I mean, that's what I did a lot of times, because to me right now I need to have a purpose. So in a way, sure, I can just go hiking every day, but to me there's no purpose in just hiking today in this society where everybody's sick, where everybody's lazy, where everybody is just sitting around doing nothing. And the whole point is to get people to move, because I can move and I can talk and make sense and be really smart at the same time. You know, I don't really have to think about what I say, because words just pour out like like water from a spring, you could say, right? That's how it is. They just pour out, they just pour out, and once I start, it's like a waterfall. But now it's not so much a waterfall, it's more like a very tedious trickle that's kind of dripping down my chin like the saliva from a really crazy person, which is what people would like me to look like, right? Because if you do something out of the ordinary, then what's happening? Well, people are kind of insecure about it, right? They rather stand around smoking without knowing why they're actually smoking than to do something that really is a challenge. And what really is a challenge is to leave the house without a phone, is to maybe have a conversation with a homeless person, right? I mean, I don't say that if you live in Joburg, you know, I am talking about friendly homeless people, which I believe so most of them are, at least in Germany, because I believe they get at least some kind of support. I wouldn't really do that in South Africa, because I also wouldn't do this here in South Africa, because it's stupid. Because if I do this in South Africa, they will mug me, because how am I supposed to, right? I mean, I'm wearing a bright green hat, yeah? I look really fancy, you know, I stand out. You don't want to stand out when you're somewhere in Joburg, right? You don't want to really look like a super rich person. You want to look like the average guy, where you don't have to take anything from him. So here I don't really have to be worried, because everybody's a pussy basically. All the men are just pussies, and that's just the truth. They have their little cars, and they smoke their cigarettes, and they act like they're really tough. You know, that's the guys we're dealing with. They're really angry, but they don't know what to do with their anger. So, you know, what should anybody here do to me? You know, I've seen worse. I've done all kinds of things, and I know I can handle myself, even without being violent. And why is that? Because I know what most people want. And what most people want is love, yeah? But not this kind of, you know, I'm gonna hug you in bed and hold you really tight, but more this kind of, you know, I give attention to you, right? You know, this kind of love, where you say, what is love? It's focus. What is focus? It's meditation. Which brings me to the point, when you have your phone, what is your focus going into? Into something that just drains it and turns it into nothing. Into something that just turns it into more of the same. Right? But if you focus and direct your attention onto your child, which you could say is a form of meditation, where you focus on your child, and that energy goes into your child, but you focus with a loving intent. And now we're here with the word intention. What's your intention, right? What is your intention with what you're doing in life? Is your intention to look really cool, or is your intention to feel true to who you are, right? Do you just want to look like a boss? Yeah, but in a real life and death situation, you would shit your pants. And that's basically 90% of everybody I know. They're just pussies, they're just cowards. They walk around, they don't wear a beard because they want the masculine energy to sort them out. They wear a beard because they think it makes them look fancy. But then they worry about, oh, how does the beard look? Maybe I should trim it. Maybe I should, you know, have like a neat neckline or something. That's just a waste of time. Because when you're true and in nature, then you don't have mirrors. And you don't have phones to take selfies with. And if you don't have phones to take selfies and you don't have mirrors, yeah, who gives a shit about your neckline? Nobody. Because nobody gives a shit about your neckline ever. But you do. And because you do, people can make fun of you. Because you use your neckline as something to give you security. While there is no real security in life but your own faith and the trust that you can pull that damn wagon up the hill without anybody helping you. And at least what this is going to teach me is, hey man, you thought your left hand was very weak, but now you prove to yourself at the very least, that you can pull up this wagon the same distance that you normally use 2 hands for. Now you did the same thing with just 1 hand. And you succeeded. And you managed. And you basically won. And so the message is, holy shit, you know, I thought my left hand was weak. But it isn't. It's actually quite strong. You know, if I can pull this wagon up, I already started sweating with 2 hands. And it's just about, you know, to just keep going, just keep going. There's all kinds of people now. They all want attention because now there's a camera. Everybody wants to be a bit famous, yeah? Everyone wants to be in the spotlight. Everybody wants to get a lot of attention because they were all denied it, yeah? Because all parents, that does already include my parents, rather watched movies than to just hear me speak about something, right? And that still is happening. You know, parents were denied attention as children, and now they're denying their children attention because they're still craving it. I mean, I see my parents craving my attention because they don't know what self-love is, and they don't know about the practices that I do on a daily basis to give myself what I feel I need. And that's exactly the thing, because to do such a thing, to walk through the city, to talk at the same time, and to still focus on roughly what I'm saying so that it at least makes some kind of sense, that I have kind of a red thread that pulls me along the journey. There are things that may bring you out of your flow, because this is now attention. I have to be focused on walking, on talking, on pulling, and on everybody around me, because people generally don't pay attention to what other people are doing because they're focused only on themselves and only on their phones. Now, my intention is to be able to pay attention to everybody around me, so that when I'm in the position of a father, right, I know what my own needs are. I know how to respond to my own needs, but I also know how to postpone those needs a little. And because I know that, I can take care of my wife's needs and my child's needs before my own. Because I also, right, I don't need that much anymore, right? I don't need to be suckled, right? But I can learn to suckle others just through focus. And also what I had to learn is, because I have this weird kind of relationship with my parents, now I have to walk a tad bit slower, but I'm still pulling, right? It's like this, you know, the child gets older and then the parents suddenly want your attention. Maybe they always wanted it. And then you feel like you have to help them. And they think, because as soon as you come to them, they will be in the position of being a parent again. Because that's what they miss. They miss the exchange. Because they don't know how to have a proper exchange with themselves. You know, I sit in my room. Sure, I get lonely. I do get lonely. But then I also know I'll go for a walk. Then I'll just see who I meet. Right? And then I just speak to random people. But the point is, there is no point. There never has been a point, and maybe there never will be a point ever again. But my point is, I have a purpose, and that's a challenge for me specifically Maybe it wouldn't be to you because you know how to make money. You know, I just know how to speak the truth. And so what I really had to learn is, you know, that maybe sometimes you just have to shut up, and maybe sometimes you have to just find the right words. You know, sometimes you still have to make a pause and adjust, because whew, well, at least what I can say is that this is a decent workout. I also know I'm practicing, you know, I'm pumping my left arm a little so that I also start feeling more confident, because that's what we basically need. I know already that I can draw now with my left hand. I also know I can do it with my right hand. And now I know I've put more work into my left arm. Because it's not just about the strength that is building up. It's also about the stretching that actually happens. Wow. This hill is the last trifle. And that's basically all there is to say about it. It is difficult at times, because today I checked my content, of course. You know, it's still not where I would like it to be, but you could say I'm not in a rush, but I feel like I am. You know, I feel like I have to rush through this because I feel like I am running out of time. So what I basically have to do is stop wasting time. Stop wasting time by being too polite. Stop wasting time with people that have no respect. And stop wasting time with people that gave up. Right? Yesterday I followed a homeless guy around because I thought I was helping him. But I wasn't. He probably thought he was helping me. Oh, finally he found a friend, he thought. Because if I follow him around, it means he's got something to teach. But I don't want to live on the streets. So what can he teach me? Other than, if you get stuck and you don't know how to move on, you will live on the streets. Because in that sense, you can say he's a bit dumb. And that's not in a mean way. It's just in a... I think that's how it is, right? I think that's how it is. Oh man. People really have to take the whole space always. I mean, you see couples, they don't even know how to walk on their own. They have to hold hands. That's how afraid they are to lose each other. Which I get. Because I'm trying to get out of whatever is holding me. It's not me. I feel like somebody else is holding me. And I don't want it anymore. So I'm like done with it. Just say cheers. This is tough. Yeah. But at least so all the doubters, I mean, you still won't know. What am I carrying? Maybe I just picked up stuff from the junkyard. Yeah. Because everything you say, people are so thick in the lie. Everybody's just lying about everything. That nobody believes anything anybody says. And that's why if you don't film it, people don't believe that you actually did it. And that's what pisses me off about it. That I feel like in these days I'm even required to show that I'm literally doing this myself. And for artists, what made it even worse is AI. AI has literally shattered the artist scene. People don't want to do art anymore, which is one way to transform your emotions and to give you a bit of hope. But now with AI flooding the market and people just acting like they do these artworks just because they type in a phrase and the AI gives them a picture and then they use that and they post it. But what's the point? What's the point? They're gonna get bored with it. The only reason why I manage to hold on to what I'm doing is because I keep doing it, man. Is because I keep fucking doing it. I keep doing it. I said no to my parents or the people who think they are my parents because I don't want the fridge. I don't want the fucking fridge buzzing around that apartment that they pay. Or actually, it's life that pays it. Yeah, it's life. Because it's not my dad's money. That's a teaching you can just take from Ram Dass, right? No, it's God's money. It's life's money. So when you have money on your bank account, you don't say, oh wow, look at me, I'm really somebody now because I've got money on my account. You say, it's not even my bank account, man. It's life's bank account. So I have to use it to promote life. Because if I would ask life every time, then life would say, don't give your money to beggars and don't waste your money on meat because that is defying life. But give money to people that are good, but that also want to do something with it. Buy homes, buy land, and take it away from the government. Right? We have to just free as much land as we can so that large corporations can't get it anymore. Yeah, in some areas that's maybe a bit easier, but there are areas where it's a little bit harder. And the other thing you really have to deal with when you do things the way I do them is other people's impatience. As soon as somebody has to just slow down their car because they think you're in their way, because they're so important, right? They have to be wherever they need to be super fast. Yeah, they just start honking at you because they get so pissed. The truth is actually they are pissed already, all the time. Because they think they're super important, but nobody gives them credit for all the things that they are doing. Yeah, like driving around in cars and just earning money. And that's where people get their feeling of, I'm really important with my car and I have to drive now and I cannot wait for you. And it's really sickening, right? It's really sickening. I also realized again, right, you know, you never know, but sometimes you just try to open up to someone and you realize, yeah, that person is a fluke, a fluke. I'm not sure what the word is, but that was a word, and I'm almost there, which is why I will stop this now. And this was way faster than I thought. I hope you're all happy now, because Christopher proved to you once more what you can do with your bare hands. Yeah. Okay, just to recap, This is my job. I love it. But it's also a challenge. Because it would be easier to just go to the boulder hall and just ask for a job there. Well, then the voice in my head says, a man is not a man if he gets paid by another man. And when you know that, you just can't do it. Because you literally see it. Everybody who's working for money and for other people, they just walk around like, you know, somebody's constantly crushing their balls. And that's another reason for me, right, where I say, if my parents wouldn't pay my apartment and they wouldn't have allowed me to live where I live, I would just live on the streets. Because that's more honest than working for some asshole that just thinks he can command me because he's paying me. Because that's how it is, right? And then it's like a hierarchy, right? Everybody pushes around the one that thinks he's the lowest. Yes, somebody just sucks it all up. And that really is incredible. It's incredibly terrorizing. So my way out is through the heart of my parents, the people who call themselves my parents. And in that sense, yeah, they pay me this apartment because they knew I had to leave, but they couldn't throw me on the streets. So it's due to their good heart that I'm still here, that I'm still recording. Because otherwise, I would be living on the streets. I made that choice when I landed on the streets in Amsterdam. And my dad said, you can live in your room again. And I said, all right. Because I am a warrior, but I'm also smart. And I have to be smart. You have to be a sly fox. So yeah, if I have to wiggle myself through the heart of my parents, I just take it for granted that they love me. I don't run around doing things I don't want anymore, because if they really love me, they'll support me. And that's what they do. And that's hard for them. Yeah, because they think I'm a failure. They think I'm crazy. That's why they give me money. They pity me. Well, I don't need pity, but pity is giving me money. It's actually not true. What's giving me money is that I work hard and I'm reluctant to stop. So see it for whatever it is. Right, this might be something to have heard when you listen to it. Time to let go.